Hey everybody, so today we're going to do a review of Sager notebooks. I'm not going to do a review of a specific laptop model, just on Sager notebooks in general, what you get. So you can see here their website, pretty plain. This actually looks okay, better than I've seen it last time. So when you order from Sager, you're not buying directly from this website usually. There's a lot of secondary sites where you can buy from. In the States, there's a lot of them. In Canada, I've only really seen reflexnotebook.ca, which is where I purchased my laptop from. So we'll take a trip over there. So this is the model that I had ordered. So what you get when you order a Sager laptop is you get this base laptop. Okay. Depending which model you order is determines which chipset you get, which processor and all that kind of stuff, and the options that you can make. So you get this base. The screen was fine, looked pretty good. It was nice HD quality. The webcam was all right, not fantastic, not terrible. The keyboard, same thing, not fantastic, not terrible. I was expecting a bit more out of the keyboard, but the casing looked really nice. It's a nice looking laptop. The mousepad, touchpad was fine as well. So that's what you get when you order it. It'll list all the specifications here, and that's really where it gets interesting, because if you're looking at the specifications and the price and the add-ons that you can get, these are very attractive laptops. The specs that you can see and the amount that you pay for it is really attractive compared to other computers that you'll buy in big box store like Best Buy or The Source or wherever you're shopping. So you pick your base model, and then you go through here and you can make changes. You can change the processor, you can change thermal compound, what operating system you get. You can upgrade your memory up to 24 gigs. RAID storage, the hard drive, the SSD drive. I did put an SSD drive in mine, and makes a huge difference. If you're getting a new laptop, get an SSD drive. Don't waste your time with a regular hard drive. If you can avoid it, get an SSD drive. It's just so fast when you're loading the computer up. Optical drive, wireless network card. I did get the Killer N, and then all the other warranty services and accessories. So you'll put your laptop together and build it, pay for it, and you see here UPS free shipping. So on the surface, looks great. I was really happy when I placed that order and saw what I was getting for the price that I had paid. But all is not well in the world of Sager notebooks. So when I placed my order, they do tell you 7 to 14 business days to actually receive your order, which sounds okay. You know, you think 2 weeks, but 7 to 14 business days is much longer than 2 weeks. If you look at a business week being 5 days, that's closer to 4 weeks than 2 weeks. By the time I actually received my laptop, it was closer to a month and a half. It was about 20 business days by the time I finally received my laptop. When I asked them about that, why it had taken so long, I was informed that the Sager factory where they actually build it in California had run out of one of the components that I had ordered for my laptop. They didn't say what the component was, just one of the components had run out, so they had to put it on order and wait for it before they could build the laptop. So they finally built it, sent it out, and like I said, about 20 business days for me to finally receive it from Sager and reflexnotebook.ca. So when I did finally get it, open up the box, like I said, it comes out looking like this. I was pretty happy. Like I said, I do like the case. It's a nice looking laptop when you're looking at it in person. Nice brushed steel kind of look to it. So I was pretty happy. Didn't waste much time checking it out. I opened it up, I installed my OS right away, and started playing with the laptop. I was really happy, like I said, with the SSD drive, really fast. The graphics card was good. It's not the best graphics card. You know, like I said, I ordered one with the GTX 860, so you can get better than that, but that's fine for what I needed. So I was really happy when I started playing with the computer, but like I said, all is not good in the world of Reflex Notebook and Sager Notebook. So I did notice a couple problems with the laptop once I started looking at it closely. So this is the first thing I noticed when I started playing with the computer a little bit. can see here that there is a crack in the casing coming towards the keyboard here. This was brand new out of the box like that, and it took me a minute to notice it because you can see it's pretty small. Not that big of a problem. I thought maybe it's just a crack in the paint, but when I started to look closer, it's actually a crack in the casing, which is a big problem. Nobody wants their new laptop to arrive broken like that. The second noticeable problem is this big dent and crack in the corner of the screen. Obviously, that poses a problem for the quality of the screen and the potential for it to actually fail in the future. You can see that here it's a pretty big dent that is in the casing, to the point where the actual aluminum casing is pushed in and the case is starting to come apart at the seams. So at this point I contacted Sager and Reflex Notebook, and sent them some pictures that I've posted up here so they could see what I was talking about, and they said, okay, yeah, that seems like a problem. Package it back up, take it back to a UPS store, and send it back to Sager. They will fix it and send it back to you. So I said, okay. I packaged it up, put it back in the box. They had asked me to send them a picture of the box to see if they had damaged it or if UPS had maybe damaged it in the shipping. The outer box seemed okay, but the inner box had a bit of a dent in the one corner where I'm assuming the laptop was sitting. So I'm assuming by being the inner box that was dented, not the outer box, it was probably damaged in the Sager factory before they shipped it out, before they put the laptop box in a bigger box and sent it off to UPS, because the outside box was just fine. The inside box had a big dent, a small dent in the corner, which led to a big dent on the laptop. So, bit of an issue with the laptop coming out of Sager's factory. So I packaged it back up, I sent it off to them, and I waited. And I waited, and I waited, and another month later, I got my laptop back. So I thought, great. I opened it up. I actually fully inspected the laptop this time, and the casing looked fine. Everything was good. It's got the brushed steel kind of look to it, so any little scuffs or scratches on the outside of the casing aren't really noticeable. So I didn't notice anything at the time. So when I got home and I turned on my new laptop, it was a bit of a problem. I saw this. And no, the image is not broken. What I saw was a black screen because my laptop wouldn't turn on. I tried for about 5 minutes and finally got the laptop to turn on, and then the laptop turned off again about 30 seconds later. And this was the general process that happened. I'd try and turn it on, it would turn off. I would turn it on, it would turn off. And it would go like that. The longest I got it on for was about 2 minutes. And I've got a video here that you can watch with me turning it on and off so you can see what I am talking about. So you can see here, just pressing the button didn't work. I usually have to press it a couple times in order for the laptop to actually turn on. And you get the boot up. This is when I finally got it on a nice stable surface. What I did realize through turning it on repeatedly was that if it wasn't on a stable surface, it would turn off right away. Anytime I nudged the keyboard, or if I picked up the laptop would turn off immediately. So it seemed to me that the problem with the computer was actually that the components maybe weren't installed properly or weren't seated properly. Maybe the RAM wasn't seated properly, or the hard disk, or just something wasn't, installed well or to a high standard. Maybe they rushed through building my laptop when I sent it in because they had broke it the first time, and instead what I get back because of a rush job and poor quality is a computer that won't even stay on. So you can see here, it's not the battery that's the problem. I plugged it back in to make sure that it had power, and that wasn't the issue. The issue really seemed to be that the components were not seated properly, and anytime you move or jostle the laptop, it turns off. So at this point, I contacted Reflex Notebook again, who again contacted Sager, and they said, so what we'll do, because it's been broken twice now, sending it out, is we're just going to rebuild a whole new laptop to the specs that I had ordered, which meant I'd be waiting at least another month to get my laptop back. So with it now being 2 months that I had waited, I didn't want to wait a third month. I said, you know what, just refund me my money. As you can see on their Sager page there, money back guarantee for 30 days. I hadn't had the laptop for 30 days because it had arrived broken twice. And, you know, high service, high quality. And I didn't get either of those things dealing with Sager at all. So I said that I'll just return and get my money back. And they said, okay, send it in. So I sent it in, and when I finally got my refund, it was not a full refund. They agreed to only refund me part of my initial purchase. One for the shipping, which I'm okay with. The shipping's fine. I don't expect to get that back. But they said they will not refund me my full purchase because I sent them back a broken laptop. That's why I sent back the laptop in the first place, because it was broken. And they said, sorry, we don't pay for the cost of broken parts. Just ridiculous. As a customer buying something online, you expect a certain level of service, a certain level of quality. And if you're buying from anybody who's making a Sager notebook, it's not necessarily the company's problem. Reflex Notebook was fine. They went through a lot trying to help me out. But Sager is unwilling to help the customer. It's just the worst shopping experience I have ever had online. So I would say my review of Sager Notebook, it looks good for the price, the specs, but what you finally get in your hand is a broken product. The quality of their workmanship seems to be lacking, and it really results in a poor product in the end user's hands. So if you can, avoid Reflex Notebook at all costs. The attractiveness of the price and the specs doesn't add up to the final product that you get in your hands. Thanks for watching.